Hello, hello, hello again. Here we go with Moneylogy show as always, same day, same time, and hello to those who watch our show live or recorded version, doesn't matter. And this is the show where me and Valor may share our experience, our thoughts, our tips for you if you're interested about getting towards financial freedom. So if such topics as personal finances, entrepreneurship, investing is important and interesting for you, join and watch our show. By the way, all the previous shows can be found on any channel you like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and just follow us via Starfish Academy and get the content and also notifications about the new upcoming content. So, as always, each time we have a topic we want to discuss together with Follow. So, have a look.
Hi, Julius. Hi, everyone.
And today's topic is actually quite an important difference between two words, which sometimes are misunderstood. And this is actually the reason why a lot of people are aiming for not a proper target for the beginning. At least this is what I think about it. So the words we would like to discuss today is rich and wealthy. What is the difference and why actually one is even the more important step before getting to another? So, Vala, what are your thoughts about these two words and what's the main difference between being wealthy and being rich?
Yeah, although the words sound pretty similar or can be used in the same context, and I like that there's a small distinction between these words you can use, and also, in a way it can make the goal a bit easier or shorter because it's like you can split it into separate parts. And usually when people think about rich, they think about money or a certain amount of money, whether in their bank account or in their investments. And there's a lot of discussion about becoming a millionaire, and this is usually what's the context of rich for most of the people. So what I like about wealthy is that when rich is measured in money, then wealth is measured in time. So before you become rich, you have to become wealthy. And the main question is that, what is your wealth today? So there's actually quite easy way you can calculate it. There's a formula which says that if you stop your income today, how many days or how many months you can survive with the savings or financial buffer that you have today. Exactly. So let's say if you have, I don't know, 10,000 put aside and your monthly expense is 2,000, then your wealth is basically 5 months. So I think this is one of the numbers that everybody should at least calculate. And then the question is that, okay, how can I get this as big as possible?
Exactly. And the problem in being rich actually is also that when you are becoming richer and richer, your expense level is always also becomes higher, because expenses always catch up the income level. And it means that, like you said, if you suddenly lose your main income, then it's quite hard to get back to low expenses. And this is actually the reason why you can survive less even being rich, but losing your stream of income.
Yeah, and that's why you should at least know the number. It even doesn't matter what the number is, as long as you know where you are. Then you can also set the plan how much you want it to be. And I would say that the tragedy for most of the people is that the wealth is usually only 1 month or 2 months. So now if you become intentional about it and you start to create reserves and intentionally increase your wealth, then actually it's on the way to becoming financially independent.
Exactly. And I would say that there is even possible that your wealth, which is measured in time, like you said, could be infinite if you reach one certain condition, that all of your expenses would be covered by your passive income, not by your own income, which you basically earn doing some work mentally or physically, but with passive income which you created out of your proper money management and actually investing to another asset classes. That's why probably becoming wealthy before becoming rich, or being rich and wealthy together, is the best choice.
Yeah, and like you said, the ultimate goal of wealth is to become infinitely wealthy, which means that you have passive income covered. But that's also one of the things is that why it maybe makes sense to in the beginning to focus on the wealth, because first of all, the rich seems so far away. Whatever the number is, let's say it's $1 million, it seems quite far away. But becoming infinitely wealthy could be for somebody maybe 2,000, maybe 3,000, dollars or euros per month.
Yep.
And you are wealthy, you are free, you can decide what you want to do, and then you can continue your path to becoming rich.
Exactly. Or even if you are like a student, it can be like even some hundreds of euros,
Yeah.
500 euros or so, because you don't have so high level of expenses like having a family or some obligations for banks, loans, and all these things. So your expense level is really quite low. And if you reach this infinite wealth in the very beginning, and then just repeat the same thing, increasing first of all your passive income stream and then your expenses, then eventually you can become rich, but also at the same time you will be wealthy.
Yeah, and you can, if you imagine, like a journey to the mountaintop, and then there's a flag of becoming rich in the mountaintop, then basically, camp 1 could be, I don't know, 6 months of wealth. Camp 2 could be 12 months of wealth. I don't know, camp 3 or 4 could be infinite wealth, but there's still to go because you keep going. But at least it makes the trip a bit shorter, and you focus on the next step, which is the next camp for you.
Exactly. So one more time, what we actually already said, I would like to show you in the pictures, because sometimes pictures can be remembered better than the words. And this is exactly the difference between wealth and rich. So like Val already said, that wealth is measured in numbers of days or months or weeks or years, which you could live without working and not lowering your level of life. So this is the most important part of it. At the same time, rich is measured in amount of money, which also lowers when you stop working. And if you are not lowering your level of life, then basically the time which you can spend living out of this money will be quite a short one. In this case, you are forced either to lower your living level or seek for another stream of income. Otherwise, the money will be end quite soon. So understanding this difference is really important one, because we can probably find a lot of examples in around us when we see a lot of rich people, but they are not wealthy. Let's say quite often it's a sportsman or some pop star which have a lot of money earning through his career, like for example in a basketball game. But as soon as he ends his sport career, then basically he has quite a big challenges being at the same level where we have been, where he has been before, because his stream of income goes down, but the life quality stays the same.
Yeah, and I would also say that it's like why I like that they're measured in two main resources in our lives. So it's time and it's money. Now, if you think about which is more important, in a way, the time is even more important, because you can never get it back. So that's why I would say that becoming wealthy is actually a pretty big part of the journey. Because once you become wealthy and you can do, on a daily basis whatever you like to do, then getting to rich is just like a bonus, or getting higher to the mountaintop.
One more important thing, interesting thing is also that if you look to the term rich, and basically you would try to say what actually is amount of money which allows you to be considered as rich. And this amount is always changing, because let's say if we talk about the Rockefeller, which has been one of the richest person in the world like 100 years ago, now his wealth would be measured in totally different money. So basically like 100 million 100 years ago, it's the same like now, probably billions of euros or dollars. So the number of money you can have in order to be considered rich is actually changing all the time. At the same time, wealth is not changing, because it's always infinite. If you have, doesn't matter what's your expenses covered by the passive income. And it's 1 month or 2 months. So the number is not changing.
Yeah, I would say that it should be also a smart idea to also think, why I want to become, financially independent, or what is the goal behind the financial goal, because there's always something there.
Yep.
And now for somebody, the lifestyle goal could be quite low, so the financial goal even doesn't have to be so high, or the rich is not so big number. So it really depends on your life goals. But becoming infinitely wealthy, I think, is really the 80% of the work.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree. So basically, if those who watch our show would be interested, how to start. how to start increasing their wealth, because you said like intermediate goal could be like 2 months of wealth or 4 months of wealth or maybe 2 years of wealth and so on. How they could be starting going towards it?
The easiest way is really implement the principle of paying yourself first, which means that you have a certain system
Yep.
which allows you to always put money to yourself before you pay all other expenses. And for that we have a separate actually course in Starfish called the Personal Money Blueprint. But you can use different systems, but as long as you don't spend anything before you pay to yourself.
Exactly.
And then if and you can start to grow it gradually. You don't have to start with the end goal. You can start with putting 1% aside on the first month, and you're on the way.
And it doesn't matter actually where you are now, because you can be on survival level, you can be on already like a well-being level, but the steps can be the same actually in the beginning. And by the way, you mentioned the course, and it's actually will be also announced in English quite soon.
Yeah, it is in English. We just got it finished. It will be out probably in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
And what we did, we basically put together the full system, made it as easy and simple so that everybody could apply it. You don't have to think what could be the system, but we will actually show you step by step how to implement it. So this is like a fast track to implementation of paying yourself first.
So if those who watch our show are interested in this course, just follow our resources to be informed about it quite soon, and you will be able to start these steps on your own and move forward your higher, bigger amount of wealth, and at the same time closer to your financial freedom. So this was the topic today we would like to discuss with Valor, and if you have any questions for us, you can always write them below the video in any channel you watch it, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. And also you can suggest the topics you want us to discuss in the future, and we will be more than happy to include them here, because our main goal is actually to create us big value for you as you would like to have. So just give us the feedback, give us your wishes, and we will be more than happy to include it in the future. And you can watch all the shows which has been recorded before on the channels I already mentioned. Just follow us here, because it's not only Moneylogy shows here. There are other valuable content which is provided by Starfish Academy and us for free, for the main goal to help you to achieve financial freedom and to be able to live a more harmonious life for you and your families. So thank you, Valo, for sharing your thoughts, and let's meet the next week, same day.
See you next week.
See you. Bye-bye.